Welcome back. Today we're going to have your watercolor paper, your water, your tissue, your triangle brush, and your palette. If the gouache has already dried up, just spritz water into it and it will soften so you can use the paints again. So just clean your brush to check if there are any colors left. And if there's none, we can proceed with a second brush stroke that you need to do to make florals. So the second brush stroke is a movement of a push and a pull. So you push and pull the brush towards the same point every time. You can do it sideways, coming from the bottom. I'm trying my best here not to cover everything with my hand because I normally hold the brush this way. Okay, so I have a control if I do that. Most of my students have a hard time doing that. So what they do is like this. From the bottom, you push and pull, push and pull, push and pull the brush and go back to the same point where you started. So you can do it sideways again. It doesn't matter so long as the ridges are different. Okay, so I hold the brush upright and I make several more petals. As you can see here, you would see how I hold the brush and I'm pushing downwards and forward and downward toward that same point every time. Of course, this one you can do as a drill until you get it. Okay, sometimes it's hard, but eventually you will be able to get it. You have to go back to that original place where you started. So kindly do some of the petal strokes and continue until you have finished all 9. So I made 9 petals. This one I'm sliding so that it's easier. So you create a rounded end for the petals and not a squiggly one. This I made a center so that I have a guide where to go back. So I made 1 petal, another one, so make the 3rd petal, and you can rotate your paper. So rotating the paper can make it easier as well. So I'm rotating the paper and I've created like a 4-leaf clover flower. So here I repeated the steps, this time with no center and letting the brush be my guide. So I am just doing the second brush stroke, which I call the scrubbing stroke. So more of the scrubbing stroke, I made another flower. Okay, so practice more on that. So here's a closer look. For the gouache, I use white. So you can use it thick. I want to use it thick this time so that you can control the water that's coming from the brush. So you dip the brush 3/4 of the way and then poke the red. In this case, I poke the tip with a little bit of red. I filled the brush with white, then I poked a little bit of that on the red that I have. So when you put water and you see it flowing, I think that one has too much water. So if the pigment moves like that, this one is better because it's watercolor paper, so it absorbs the water. The 3rd one is just the right amount. So when you scrub thickly, look, the colors form an automatic gradient. So this is what's so special about this triangle brush, because it can load multiple colors all at the same time. So it's a fast motion of thick and thin, and you should be able to get this stroke in no time. Most of my students find this easier than the first one. The petals are easier to do rather than the leaves. So that's why I made that one the first, and that's the only hard stroke that you can have on this workshop. The rest you will be able to form all the petals using these 2 strokes. Here I am testing again. Too much water. Here still, it's because the pigment's still moving. Here that's about enough. And I am going to make another petal. See how nice it is. White, the white one makes it balance the white pigment that you put in the brush. And look, see, look at that gradient. So it's very nice. Without the white, you can do it with red only and lots of water, but it won't give a nice look as the one with the white. You can try it with water only. So if you're happy with it, go with it. But if not, you can always try white. You can also do other combinations if you like. For now, we are practicing the red and the white because we're going to do cherry blossoms as one of our projects. So here I am testing again the pigment if there's too much water. Okay, so I am going to make the scrubbing motion again and create more petals. So you can do this the whole day if you wish, because when I was studying this, I was addicted to it and I always reach out for this brush and create flowers such as this until I am happy with it. So continue to finish and I'll see you in the next exercises.